Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Still more questions than answers tonight following a deadly shooting at a Lexington apartment complex. We have the latest on the investigation.
A Nicholasville police officer was shot in the line of duty 2 years ago. Now they're asking for help to catch the person responsible.
The doors are open and Big Blue Madness is almost here at Rupp Arena. UK fans are ready.
WKYT News at 6 starts now. Good evening and thanks so much for being here with us tonight. People living nearby tell us it has scared them. Tonight, police are still trying to figure out what led to a murder at a Lexington apartment complex. Investigators say they found a man shot multiple times this morning along McCullough Drive in the Winburn neighborhood. As you can see in this Sky First video from Officer Don, there was a large police presence. WKYT's Victor Puente has the latest details in this case. It's our top story at 6.
The gathering outside of this apartment was quite a shock for the people living here.
It scared me. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, it would scare anybody.
This shooting happened in the middle of the day. Despite that, police say they don't have many witnesses. They were called around 10:30, first for a report of shots fired in an apartment.
And then just shortly after that, we received a call of a male subject down in the hallway bleeding.
When firefighters got to McCullough Drive, they found that man lying in a second-floor hallway. Paramedics tried to treat him, but he died from those gunshot wounds. Coroner Gary Ginn says the victim is a young black man who was shot multiple times. This afternoon, he said they were still trying to identify him. People living just one apartment over told me they didn't hear any shots. They said seeing the scene this morning made them want to move.
That's what we plan on doing. We can't live in something like this. I mean, not with kids.
Ginn was asked where on his body the victim was shot. He said police would be keeping that information out of the public.
We won't release that just because it's a homicide investigation, and whoever has done this knows where they shot him at, so that'll be a part of the police investigation.
And police said they hoped a witness would be able to give them more information about how this man was killed.
Very likely somebody saw somebody running from the scene, walking away quickly. That's the information that we need to be able to help solve this case.
In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And neighbors say they don't believe that the victim lives in that apartment complex. We are tracking a breaking news alert in Scott County tonight. The coroner says one person has been killed in a crash in Georgetown. It happened late this afternoon on Cherry Blossom Way. The Scott County coroner says a truck crossed the center line and hit two other trucks. He says the man killed in the crash was a 27-year-old man from Tennessee. The coroner says another person was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. 2 years ago, this weekend, someone shot a Nicholasville police officer as he patrolled a neighborhood. Police say a bulletproof vest saved Officer John Rainey's life. He has since recovered, but police haven't been able to track down the shooter. Today, Officer Rainey talked to WKYT's Sam Smith about the shooting and the search for the person responsible.
Jessamine County 911, where is your emergency?
Someone is shooting a gun, like really close outside my back door.
Gunfire alarmed people in this Nicholasville neighborhood 2 years ago. One of those bullets hit Officer John Rainey.
I think God was definitely looking out for me.
Rainey was in the area on patrol that evening. He got out of his vehicle to check out a suspicious man walking behind a home. That man took off into a wooded area. Both Rainey and the suspect exchanged gunfire. Rainey was shot and the suspect got away.
The Kevlar saved my life that day. The bullet hit me right in the back, and from what it looks like it was almost directly behind the heart.
We have no idea who he is at this point in time.
The community also wants to see the shooter caught through donations. The reward for the arrest and conviction of the shooter is $25,000.
But we feel like here in Nicholasville that we do the best job that we can, and that the community enjoys and wants us to be around and works well with us.
Officer Rainey says it doesn't bother him to go back to Maple Leaf Lane, but it's an experience that will stay with him.
And I just hope one day they'll catch him.
In Nicholasville, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Well, police tell us when that shooter is caught, they will be charged with either first-degree assault or attempted murder of a police officer. He is already accused of stealing more than $1 million from one client. And now Lexington police say more victims have come forward saying a Lexington investor scammed them too. Police arrested Kenneth Thomas last month after an investigation into his company Retire America. New at 6, WKYT's Garrett Weimer has the update in the case.
Lexington police say they're learning the man who owned Retire America inside this building bilked more investors out of more money than they first knew, and it's also led to another arrest. Police say the case against Kenneth Thomas has grown momentum since WKYT first broke the story in September. According to police, there are now more than 3 victims who have been scammed out of a total of $1.5 to $2 million. And now we've learned police have arrested Shannon Hurst, who police say was the secretary at Retire America and knew what was going on.
I can't get into specifics, but what I will say is that she was someone at the business who had intimate knowledge of the details of what was going on, specifically the fraud, and in many ways she was complicit because she had particular responsibilities that she did not fulfill that amounted to theft.
Roberts says at this point there could be even more charges to come. It all depends on how many victims and how much money. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Lexington police say they still want to hear from anyone else who may have been a victim of this scam. All right, let the madness begin. Thousands of Big Blue fans will celebrate the start of a new basketball season tonight. Big Blue Madness gets underway in a little less than an hour at Rupp Arena. WKYT's Jennifer Palumbo joins us now live from Wildcat Central with all the excitement. I know it is building, Jennifer.
It really is, Amber. Thousands of fans are here at Wildcat Central. The doors opened at 5:30 to Rupp Arena, but it is a great crowd. They are so excited about this year's Big Blue Madness, which of course is always top secret. UK never wants to give away anything about what's going to happen. Last year, though, we know that there was a rotating screen above center court that shot out fireworks. The players came out of a stage in light-up suits. Even the fans got to be part of the show using an app on their phones to make a huge synchronized light show to music. This is the 10th year that Big Blue Madness has been in Rupp Arena. And, Rob, this is the first time in 20 years it's not been on WKYT, but before Rupp, it was in Memorial Coliseum. Right. So many great memories from Madness.
Well, there really are. It was great when it was in the Coliseum. We went on the air at 11:30. Team took the court at midnight. We stayed on the air till 12:30. That was the good old days, but it was a lot of fun. In less than an hour now, another Big Blue Madness will be getting underway, and of course, the Big Blue Nation looks forward to it every year. Now, you might be wondering how Coach John Calipari has been doing. You remember shortly after last season ended, he underwent a hip replacement. Well, Cal said yesterday, everything is good.
Very good. I just left the Rotary and I asked how many people had ever had their hip or knee replaced, and only 3 didn't raise their hand. I'm sleeping. If you people are looking and saying, wow, you look great, you're refreshed, this is really, I'm sleeping for the first time, and like I can sleep. I don't have to sleep 2 hours a night.
Our preview of Big Blue Madness before the madness is airing right now. You can catch that on the CW Lexington.
All right, and of course, Big Blue Madness, it is sold out. Fans camped out for days to get their tickets, the hottest ticket in town. There's few fans standing outside still trying to get tickets to get into the big show. Jerica Insko caught up with some fans here at Wildcat Central who are ready for tonight's Big Blue Madness.
We are just 1 hour away from Big Blue Madness starting here at Rupp Arena. The doors opened at 5:30, and as you can see, hundreds of UK fans are piling in and have already come inside Rupp Arena. Now, you remember last month when part of UK's campus was Tent City. Well, most of these people camped out for tickets for tonight's event. And the one thing everyone has in common here is, of course, bleeding blue and being here to see the new basketball players.
Probably just the ball players, just to see them and the hoops team, just to watch, see how they react. I know they look good down in Bahamas, but I want to see how they look in front of 24,000 people.
It's crazy, and I love it. I like getting mad with the madness.
It's something they say you have to see and you have to come here. It's the basketball mecca. This is college basketball. It's UK, so
So you're excited?
I'm excited. If I had one place to be, it'd be here, so.
That man actually traveled from St. Louis to be here. We also met a couple from Atlanta, so it looks like distance is not keeping UK fans from coming to Big Blue Madness. At Rupp Arena, Jerica Insco, WKYT.
Thanks, Jerica. These fans, they've got their game faces on. It's just a practice, but they're still ready. One of the big t-shirts, Strive for Madness, that we're seeing here. Look at this. Dancing guy, the famous dancing guy from Rupp Arena. You're going to dance tonight?
Of course I will.
All right, these fans, they've got a message for the Big Blue Nation.
Go Big Blue! Go Big Blue! Go Big Blue!
All right, that's it from Wildcat Central. Amber, back to you.
It's going to be a good season, Jennifer. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
There has been a delay in the next phase of the Centrepointe project in downtown Lexington. Crews need a massive crane to be brought in to begin the next phase. It was supposed to arrive today, but it's now been delayed. City leaders say crews need 42 hours to set up the crane, and that would require a block of Main Street being shut down during that time. Well, at this point, the city can't find a time where the setup wouldn't disrupt events that are going on in downtown. The city and Centrepointe developers are working to come up with a solution.